Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick, Doctor Who Season 8, or Season whatever you want it to be, Episode 6, The Caretaker. Jenna Busch is back, Alonso Duralde. Let's have a look.
You okay?
Yeah, of course I'm okay. Why wouldn't I be okay?
I don't know, every time I see you it's like you're
What?
in a rush, in a state.
How's you? Sorry I'm late.
Who are you having dinner with?
I can't keep doing this. I can't do it. The next few days are all about you. I promise.
I'm the new caretaker, John Smith.
Welcome to Coalham, Mr. Smith.
Thanks.
Problem. Solution. Destroy.
So a lot of Mr. Pink in this episode.
I love Mr. Pink.
I'm down. I think he's interesting. And obviously they set him up in Listen to be somebody who was going to matter in the grand scheme of things. So he might as well get thrown into the pot here.
Yeah, I really like him. And you know, it's interesting because there was the big thing, and we talked about it on the first episode, that this was not going to be the boyfriend Doctor. And yet I feel like I'm discussing the relationship that Doctor is having with Clara.
There is a triangle of sorts, even if all the sides aren't equivalent. You know, there is they do resent each other's presence for various reasons.
Yeah,
so for sure.
yeah. And I have to say, I was watching this with somebody who has not watched Doctor Who before, who looked at Pink and said, "Yep, he's going to be a villain. He's going to be bad."
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, no, I don't want that to be true.
Was this person racist by chance?
No. No, he said it seemed like they were setting him up to be so likable that they were going to take him down.
Huh.
Now, this person does not watch Doctor Who, has not seen anything this season.
Look, I've only got about 5 episodes on this guy.
Well,
so
you know, that
I'm
makes you an expert, though.
I'm not going to claim any that I know what's going on. Now, tell me, because as somebody who doesn't have the history here, is it usual for the Doctor to pretend to be human and to insinuate himself this closely in the TARDIS life of the companion?
It's happened. It's happened. Sometimes it's usually a quick thing. This was a little bit unusual, I guess. But it was, I liked his reaction. I liked his goofiness this episode when he's like, he thinks he's pulling one over on Clara, which is kind of great. It was, and the weird thing, okay, tell me how you feel about the constant Dr. Clara insults.
You know, I think of it as sort of it's banter, you know, in the best way, and not the sort of will they or won't they banter, because clearly they won't. No. But no, I always feel like she's giving back as good as she's getting, so it never strikes me as being, oh, you know, he's a Time Lord picking on this poor girl. You know, that's not a dynamic I get out of it.
Yeah, I thought it was actually interesting this week because she was giving back as much as she was getting, and she was like, of course you still have a teacher.
Right.
You know, and I liked the dynamic between them, and I really liked the shock when Pink was like, "You're a space woman and he's your father." Both of their reactions were absolutely priceless to that. But it really was sort of about, it was all about relationships and the triangle. There really, I mean, yes, there was a guy and they had to get rid of him, and you know, but it was all about relationship this week. Yeah,
the Destructo robot thing was almost a MacGuffin, really.
Yeah.
It was just kind of there to support what the real story of this episode was.
Yeah.
Now, again, gleaning just things from here and there, and somebody had commented on one of the earlier episodes that we talked about, where the idea of an afterlife somehow contradicts something that has come up in a previous episode.
The idea of, and I know we'd mentioned this at the beginning, we were worried about whether they were going to cross into a religion thing, or if it was another realm, or if it was another space, I don't know, wibbly wobbly timey wimey, as Bibb says. But yeah, I don't know if it contradicts anything, depending on how they do it. If it is an afterlife, that'll be problematic. If it is another realm of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, so far we only know it's an afterlife because they say it is.
Right, and we see people die, or we know that they've died, or we think we know that they've died. And they end up there. And it was interesting.
Who is Significant Lady? Because
Missy.
That was one of those close-ups of like, ta-da! And I'm like, I don't know.
She was the one from the beginning who was saying the Doctor is her boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah, so we still don't know who she is. People have had a lot of different theories that she's the Master, which I don't really believe that there's, which would take a long time to explain, but we don't know yet. We really don't know who she is, but she's been busy today, which sort of indicates that a lot of people are dying. And we don't know if that's going to be part of a story arc. I have a feeling that this season is going to be one of those where you get to the end of the season, find out what happens, and then rewatch and pick up all the clues. Because you can sort of see where things are being thrown in, like this will be significant later.
Right.
Like pay attention to this. You know, there's a little bit of like knocking over the head with some stuff. Like for instance, this week, when he thinks Adrian, I think, was the guy that he mistakes as her boyfriend, could not have looked more like Matt Smith if he was wearing a mask. So it was a little like, I think the bow tie would have been enough for most viewers to figure out that he was like, oh, looks like a time traveler.
Right.
And and she's like, yeah, time traveler. So that was like, it feels like everything's being set up for a payoff.
I see. Yeah.
So, and while I appreciate that, and I love the idea of an overarching storyline, I do feel like a lot of it is like, oh, I'm supposed to remember that. Oh, that's a thing that's going to pay off either later this episode or 2 episodes from now.
Gotcha.
It just all feels very set. I don't know if the viewers agree. You can let us know.
Do you feel like they're setting up? Is it Cordelia? Is that her name? The distracting girl, Courtney.
Yeah.
Are we seeing the next companion
I
here?
was wondering about that. She's considering the way they were describing her. I was like, oh, I think, well, my guess is that'll be a setup too. It seems like everything that happens is a setup right now. So I could definitely see that happening. I could see her showing up again. I don't think Sexy, aka the TARDIS, was too happy about being vomited in, but you know.
Probably not a first time though.
Probably not. Probably not.
Have over the course of the show, have a lot of non-companion mortals gotten to hitch a ride in the TARDIS?
You have seen people, and sometimes they end up as companions. Sometimes, you know, it was funny. So when I was watching this with this person last night, he said, Is that supposed to be secret? Should he not have told Danny? And so it went into a big discussion about who's been in the TARDIS, who knows about the Doctor, what planets everyone knows about the Doctor, what governments know about the Doctor. So it's
and there's the potential of mind erasing, right, or hypnotizing.
Yeah. So and I really did like the, you know, her saying like, no, he's mine. Like she kind of saved him.
Right.
I love that, but. Anyone who knows me or reads anything I write knows that that's going to be the case. But I did like it. But yeah, it'll be. I mean, I hope he's on all of this. Like, I hope he starts traveling with them because I kind of miss the Amy Rory dynamic. And I liked that dynamic because you had what looked like it was going to be super crazy Doctor crush, and this sort of like weak-willed guy who follows her around, which was something that was echoed earlier with Rose and Mickey. I'm going to make you watch these. Totally making you watch these.
Well, I was going to say, okay, I've seen Torchwood. Could we compare it to that married couple?
It's not really, no.
Okay.
But he ended up being a really strong character and one of my absolute favorites of all time. So I like the dynamic of more than 2 of them traveling and doing this together. But then there was River, who was also involved here and there, who's the Doctor's wife. So, and it was interesting, they did mention River, and it does imply that the Doctor and River had lived together at one point, because they had a big fight and he had to go stay with the otters. Right. Which, by the way, does not sound bad to me at all. I want to go live with otters. If that's what you do and you fight with your significant other, I am totally going to have a fight tonight.
I don't know if the hole in the ground part sounds so appealing, but beyond that, I could all about the otters. Definitely some adorability factor for sure. So cool. All right, I will not be here next week, but we hope Bibbs will be back and you guys can keep the ball rolling.
All right.
Thanks for watching.